I say, old chaps. On the 6th of June 1944, 160,000 Allied soldiers assaulted a 50-mile stretch of the Normandy coast of France, launching a pivotal effort against Nazi Germany. The Allied armada of 700 warships and 2,500 landing craft crossed onto the beaches. In the first 6 days, 326,000 men, 54,000 vehicles and 104,000 tons of material came ashore in what we now know as Operation Overlord. At midnight on the 5th of June 1944, the Royal Air Force strategic bombers begin the pre-landing bombardment of the invasion areas to soften up Jerry.
Very, very, very important, because I knew a lot of good men, all lovely young men who are not here, who paid the sacrifice. They went the whole way. All I know is Normandy veterans love one another beyond the love of women. If you was in a hole in the ground with a boat, you've got to know him. Marvellous men. My generation saved the world. And don't say I'm a hero. I'm no hero. I was lucky. I'm here. All the heroes are dead. And I'll never forget them as long as I live.
We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall never surrender. We shall fight in France. We shall fight on the seas and oceans. We shall fight with growing confidence and growing strength in the air. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall never surrender.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, the eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. In company with our brave allies and brothers in arms on other fronts, you will bring about the destruction of the German war machine, the elimination of Nazi tyranny over the oppressed peoples of Europe, and security for ourselves in a free world.
Between 1:30 and 2:30 a.m. on the 6th of June 1944, the British 6th Airborne Division and the US 82nd and 101st Airborne Divisions began the airborne assaults to secure objectives on the east and west flanks of the invasion areas. Well, old chaps, I'm off to see a good friend and colleague of mine, Alex, talk about a special project that he's doing and we'll be involved in, working together proudly to remember our veterans.
We few, we happy few, we band of brothers. For he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother.
Well, old chaps. Old chap. Cheers. Cheers. Thanks for having us up here, Alex.
Lovely to have you, mate. Lovely to have you.
Yeah, it's been a journey the last 5 years.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
And for you, those who don't know, Alex, he does all of the creative, the artwork, illustration on the State Detective products that you see, the branding, the design. So thank you. Looks spectacular,
mate. It's an absolute joy working with you, and one of the best jobs for me is anytime I get a brief through from this young man. Yeah, because we, very like-minded, very involved in the historical aspect of World War II and keeping the memory going. and yeah, just getting that through into the brand, but in a really nice, colourful, creative way. It's a lovely project to be working on.
No, thank you. And it's quite a sensitive subject, isn't it, World War II? Because when you do products and things, you want it to come across as respectful.
Yeah.
You want it to come across, as you said, with the meaning, as you say, keeping the memory of those who served alive. And I'm going to talk about the big thing in a minute, but also you were one of the Band of Brothers actors.
Yeah. Long time ago, 24 years. So yeah.
Frank Mellet.
Yeah.
When we met through Nick Aaron, who played Robert Popeye Wynn.
That's right.
And we met because our kids were at school.
Yeah.
And now our kids are outside playing now, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, Alex has just done us a fantastic steak sandwich.
Yeah, it was good. I'll put give them the recipe for the chimichurri, which goes with it. So
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Steak was beautiful, and
well, what else could I serve the steak detective? But a steak.
I tell you what, you absolutely nailed it.
Cheers, mate.
Nailed it.
Nice.
King of the grill there, Alex. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, what can you want? Look at that.
All the work you've done on the Steak 60 brand, really appreciate it. And I remember us talking on the back of the boat when we were going over to Normandy.
Yeah.
For the 75th anniversary.
That's
I was
right.
out there with you, Nick, and a few of the other guys, and I was lucky enough to get invited to a few of the events with you. It just blew my mind, and I remember us talking, and when we were going out on the boat, we were looking back at Blighty, and I think we were saying, is that the White Cliffs of Dover over there? Because we were from Portsmouth, and then we started talking about all the military stuff, and it's got a huge interest in World War II.
Yeah.
His granddad served in World War II.
That's right.
And then he's a historian of World War II, and he loves steak.
Yeah.
So when I asked him if he would look at, and he's a graphic designer.
Yeah. All these things kind of slotted
and he
into
builds
place.
superbikes.
And he builds superbikes. Yeah.
And he drums.
Yeah.
So it's been a great journey.
Yeah, it really has. Right from that trip over to France, we started getting to know each other, and then very like-minded, and to evolve into our relationship now as good friends and work colleagues is a pleasure. So yeah, thank you.
Really, thanks, man. Thank you.
Nice.
And we're going to talk about a fantastic project you're going to be doing, or you are doing, in a minute, and which is just incredible. We've been talking about it. When you first told me about it, I think late last year.
Yeah.
When we were at the BBMF show, and I was like, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And we talk a bit about that, but your experience in Band of Brothers alongside the other actors, and what that means. You guys are the custodians now, aren't you, for those our veterans that have all sadly passed.
Yeah.
I think the last one was Bradford Freeman.
Yeah,
who
that's
passed.
right.
Who was at the 75th.
Yeah, that's right.
Dropped in, and and you didn't know your veteran who you played, did you?
No, not at all. I had very, very limited information on him. Just a few conversations with some of the veterans that were alive, like Garnier, Wild Bill, Babe, Ali as well, who was one of his best mates. Yeah, so little snippets here and there. Yeah, but unfortunately, he was KIA 30th of January 1945. So didn't have the chance to get much about the guy. But from coming out of Band of Brothers, and then a period of I'd say not thinking about it too much, then all of a sudden, as a group of guys, we get together as a cast, we get together regularly, we all keep in touch, and we're a very sort of tight unit.
You are Band of Brothers even to this day, which is
are
incredible, and I've seen that you're all incredibly close, help each other out, work together.
Yeah, we do, we really do. We help each other out, we work together. I mean, I work with a lot of the guys for my graphic design, working within the production companies that they run and own, and such as Phil and Bart, and we keep in contact. I'm in a band with Nick, Aaron, so. Which is lovely. So yeah, we're a very close group, and I think through that, I think it spurred on a desire to really find out more about Frank and see what we could get from that, and which then leads right through to what we're doing today with this project, The Jump.
It's fantastic. And the next question is going to be, can you tell us a bit more about the project?
Yeah, sure.
Please tell us more about it. Tell the subscribers, all the viewers, and the enthusiasts about it, Alex.
Yeah, right. Okay, I'll start from the beginning, kind of the conception of what is now called The Jump, Currahee to Normandy, which is a documentary that we're putting together. Grassroots. I mean, we're funding it ourselves, and it kind of came about from like going back to the 75th and the times that we've been out as a cast group to Normandy for the D-Day commemorations. If you've ever been to Normandy around that time, it's a very, very special place. The people of Normandy hold Easy Company, the soldiers, British, the Americans, the Canadians, all the guys who liberated these people on the 6th of June 1944 in such an esteem. And it is quite a magical place to be in, especially at that time of year, as you know, you've been there many times. You walk down the streets and you see flags, you see streets named after soldiers, you see living history as you're walking around these places. You see memorials to the troops, to the people who sadly didn't make it, to the guys who liberate the area. It's quite amazing. But then the people, from the youngest kids to the oldest generation, know this history. Unlike anywhere else in France, these people were truly liberated at a time when it was seeming like it was never going to happen. So from being at this place at this time, we thought, right, and seeing all these elements come together and this celebration of freedom, we thought, my God, wouldn't it be amazing to do something to commemorate this, to move it forward to another level. Now, you know, we went to boot camp in Band of Brothers, and you know, for 2 weeks, and got a snippet of life as a World War II paratrooper. Trained, you know, with Dale Dye, skipper, at Longcross, and we ended up going to Bryce Norton and doing jump training with the RAF regiment, which was incredible. That's as far as we got. You know, we never got past that point. I mean, I ended up after that skydiving, which was great fun. But you know, we got to a point as actors before we started filming and learning about our characters and our parts and how to be a World War II paratrooper. And we're thinking, Christ, wouldn't it be amazing to be able to take that one step further, to be able to do something truly memorial for a good cause, for the foundations that we're attached with and work with over in mainly the US for veterans. And we thought, right, what's the best way to do this? And that is to jump into Normandy for the D-Day commemorations.
Wow.
So that's where we're kind of at.
It's fantastic. I mean, you know, as you said, the grassroots project, the continuation of you know, of you doing the remembrance to those the soldiers, as you said, all nations, all nationalities. It's just fantastic, and the donations behind it, the cause, the support is amazing. So you've got quite an itinerary ahead of you, haven't you? You've been busy over the last few months.
Yes, we have.
Huge itinerary. Tell us who you're going with, who's the crew, and what's the agenda?
Yeah, right.
Or the itinerary.
The itinerary, right. So it kicks off with the first part of the documentary and the training. So we fly out to Atlanta in Georgia in 22nd. On board will be myself. We have Rene Moreno, fantastic Rene Moreno, who played Ramirez. We have Doug Spain, who played Garcia. We have Mark Lawrence, who played Dukeman. We have George Khalil, who played Ali. We have Nolan Hemmings, who played Chuck Grant, Sergeant Chuck Grant, as he always likes to be known. We have Christian Black, yeah, that's right. Christian Black, who played Hendrix. We're going to have Pete O'Meara as well coming to join us out there, not to do the jump, but to come out to do some things with us out in Toccoa. Toccoa, they have to let the cat out of the bag. So, right, yes, we go into Atlanta, Georgia, and we're going to be going back to the original Camp Toccoa. So, the place that the 101st Airborne trained in 1942. So, before they came over to the UK to do all their training, my little girl having a bit of a moment in there. So we head to Camp Toccoa in end of March, sort of 22nd, 23rd. And from the 23rd to the 31st, we will be training to jump for real, to get our wings. So 5 jumps we're going to be doing, training with the All Airborne Battalion, run by ex-82nd Airborne paratroopers. So you can't really get better than that, no. Which is amazing.
You can't, old chap.
Can't, old chap. And then on top of that, we're mixing this in with some lovely events that we're doing over there. We're going to be visiting Fort Bragg. We're going to be spending time with the 82nd and the 101st. We've got one of the lieutenants, sorry, over here will be lieutenant, but lieutenant colonels from the 82nd, who was also 101st. He's going to be joining us, jumping out of the plane. We've got some veterans, P-51 Mustang pilot. We've got Barbara Agnew Maloney, who is the daughter of one of the Filthy 13, which is one of the original Pathfinders. These guys are the ones that were based on, they based the Dirty Dozen on the Filthy 13, if you know your movies. So some lovely history, bringing it back into Toccoa. And this is where the boys trained in 1942. And no one's been back there. No one's jumped or done any airborne training for 80 odd years.
Wow.
At Toccoa.
Wow.
And to top it off, we're jumping out of an amazing aircraft, an original C-47 from Normandy. Yeah, this plane actually dropped the 101st Airborne over Normandy in 1944, and it's called Placid Lassie. And we're going to be working with these guys to jump from this plane, which kind of brings a really, really nice full circle to everything we've done as actors within Band of Brothers, to become fully qualified paratroopers.
Incredible, incredible. I mean, as I said, the continuation of the legacy that you've created. You are the custodians of those veterans. You're keeping their memories alive. Least we forget all of the things, as you mentioned earlier on. You know, the remembrance with the people, obviously Normandy, but the people of Europe, the people of the world. You know, and the turning point in the freedom we've given. So it's incredible. I'm really looking forward to working together on it.
Yeah.
There's a number of sponsors on there and people working together. So the State Detective is very proud to be working with.
Amazing.
Curraghy to Normandy and the jump project. So thank you. And there'll be some opportunities for some merchandise coming, some new products from the State Detective. But actually, what I wanted to talk about was how do people get involved with your project, the jump and Curraghy to Normandy?
Right. So we've got the website, which is curraghytonormandy.com, and you can go on there and all the info's on there. There'll be different varying packages that you can get, right from a basic donation to the project, right through to the Supreme Allied Commander, which is you get to ride in the C-47 over in the States and watch us jump out, and loads of goodies and stuff involved in that, which is quite pricey, but we've only sold one of those, amazingly. That's basically how we do it. We're putting out cast videos on Instagram, and this is all linking through to what becomes the big part of the project. I mean, Takara is the staging post. It's the beginning. It's a nice bit of history and background into Takara, which is the springboard for what became the paratroopers. The real message really comes into the second part of what would be the documentary. Is going to be the Normandy piece, where we go over to Normandy. We spend time like we do. We spend time with veterans, both current and World War II, which is unfortunately and very sadly becoming a very small pool now. There's very, very few guys. I mean, there's obviously, as many of you know, there's no veterans from Easy Company that served in Normandy still alive today. But that pool of guys is shrinking by the day, by the week, by the month. And so this 80th commemoration is going to be very, very special for many, many reasons, and it will be the last time that a lot of these guys will ever be able to get over there. So to be able to continue this legacy and to keep this message and this history and this this memoriam going, this is why this will be the big part of what we're doing here. It's to continue awareness, to keep the memory of these men and women that went before us and paid the ultimate sacrifice, and it's to keep that memory going, really. So that's where it all culminates. Where we actually will be jumping twice, weather permitting, because as you know, the weather can be quite changeable in
it's got its own microclimate there, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Been there a few times, and suddenly the heavens are open, and then it's dry and sunshine.
Yeah, it can be everything from cold, wet to really nice and sunny, or very, very wet, and everything in between. So we've got two jumps out of Placid Lassie, so the same airframe that we're training in will be flying over to Duxford on the 31st of May, and then on the 2nd of June it will fly over to Normandy with a few other C-47s to drop the paratroopers, including us, out on the 3rd of June and then the 8th of June. So we have two planned jumps where we'll be jumping for real. And hopefully under deployed canopies.
And you're going to be dressed in all the original kit as well, aren't you?
We are. We're going to be in the M42s. I'm not 100% sure on the lids yet. They're still working out the details of that, because obviously jumping in for safety reasons. I know that guys do it, but we'll be seeing. But it'll be nice to jump out in replica lids as much as we can and keep it original. No M1 Garands or anything like that flying around, but it's as close to what we can make it originally as possible. So it's going to be a nice. It's going to be an amazing tribute to an amazing group of men, and if we can keep this legacy going as long as we can, as long as we're alive, then we will. And this is, I think, one of the ultimate ways to pay tribute to Easy Company.
amazing special project, and you know, as I said, I'm touched. I'm touched to be, you know, we're touched as a state detective to be proud, you know, working together on it.
Yeah.
So you know, and to all the other sponsors and,
Yeah.
and collabs as well.
Yeah, I mean, let me just put a big shout out to for Jeff as well for Wish for Heroes and Walk Among Heroes, because he's really kind of linchpinned everything that's happening in Normandy, which is incredible. You know, he's pulled it all together. He's getting a lot of the events, which is going to, you know, we're putting on a big music show over in St Mary-Église on the 4th, where I'm going to be playing with quite a few of the other Band of Brothers actors. It's going to be huge. So if you're over there, St Mary-Église in the evening, 4th of June. I know this man's going to be there. So he'll probably be on stage. So we're gonna having a big show then. But again, like I said, all these proceeds, we're going to be sticking a bucket in the crowd, and all of this is going back to the veterans.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So
Absolutely amazing.
We're going to raise as much money as we possibly can. Very, very soon we're going to have merchandise as well available, and all of that's going back as well into the charities. So we're not doing this for money. We're not getting paid to do this. I'm doing this to keep this memory going, really. So and again, like, thanks to Stephen for all his support as well, and all the information that he puts out in his invoices and packing strips, and it's a big help.
You'll find some more information. You quite a few of you will already seen if you've ordered from the State Detective the letters with the your new logo and the State Detective logo as well. So as Alex said, you can look on the Courage to Normandy website. There's information there on how to donate, how to get involved. But again, it can be small, it can be bigger. Doesn't matter. It's
anything helps.
It's the meaningfulness of keeping all the memories of our wonderful veterans alive.
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly.
And that
because it spreads. I mean, I know this is obviously does focus on the American side of the operation, but through that it gains more knowledge and more interaction and more people willing to look into the history and the broader history. So it spreads. It starts off with this story, but from that people get involved and start to hook on and start to want to find out more about the bigger picture of World War II, before Normandy and after Normandy, and there's plenty to read about.
I'm glad you said that, because I think, obviously we've seen Band of Brothers. It's a legacy you guys have made there, and it doesn't date.
No,
it's timeless.
Yeah,
I've had that. I've spoken to Nick about that and spoken to you about it, and it just doesn't date.
No,
it's your legacy that you've left, that you've created, and it's like that time capsule that's going to be there now forever, recorded in memory. And of course there's been other series like Pacific, Masters of the Air. I haven't watched Masters of the Air. I'm going to save it all up and watch it at some point. I'm going to binge it.
I do like
it. It looks amazing. I'm trying to not read the comments on Facebook or Instagram.
Not as good as Band of Brothers, but
no,
it's good.
But the legacy. But you mentioned about the other nations. The British, the French, but Australians, the Canadians, so all nationalities who were involved in the theatres of war, during World War II, it truly was a global. It was a world war,
From the Far East to Europe, it was,
Yeah, and so the tribute goes out. It touched the lives of everyone.
Yeah,
and what an incredible project.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's going to be quite a ride. Can't quite believe that we're where we are, a couple of weeks from our D-Day. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. From kick-off into training, which is going to be incredible. And we've got a fantastic team over in the States with Darren, ex-airborne paratrooper, who's going to be training us out there, and all the fantastic work he's done for the Toccoa side. And the team, such as Sean Lockhead as well, who's been a linchpin within this. He jumps with a few schools, but he's also, I've known Sean for quite a few years. Within the World War II Foundation that I originally met him. and then coming on board with this, and we've got some other things lined up post this as well,
Amazing.
which
Amazing.
I'll spill the beans on another one of these, there's some more things in the pipeline, which would be nice, but it's going to be quite a ride, and please do have a look at the site and reach out, go on this man's wonderful website, and get involved with the State Detective as well, because he's got some fantastic products, and it all pulls into linking back into history for World War II. So
Thank you. Yeah, and you'll find at the bottom of our site you'll find the jump logo with a link to the Portrayed to Normandy website as well.
Awesome.
And thanks ever so much, mate.
No
Appreciate
worries.
it, old chap.
Yeah, awesome.
Cheers. I'm really looking forward to seeing it all unfold.
Yeah, I can't wait, mate. It's going to be good, and Steve will be out in Normandy as well. So, and hopefully, I'm trying to get him over to Toccoa, because he's going to be in the States at the same time that we're out there. So
Yes.
see if I can try and work him in. We'll be over in Normandy as well. But if you can, get onto the site, have a look, and we're also, after the first part in Toccoa, we'll be putting some teasers and some little snippets of footage, and some stills. We've got a fantastic photographer over there, still photographer called Stuart Bertie, who's going to be from the ground, from the training, right up into the plane with us, doing all the stills. So we'll be able to share some of his wonderful photography.
Incredible.
Yeah, so we'll keep you all informed as we go along.
Fantastic.
Anyway.
Alex, thanks, old chap.
No worries,
and, awesome to be working together on this, and what a year.
Yeah, what a year.
What, 5 years?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, awesome, mate.
Nice one.
Cool. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you soon.
Yep.
I'm Captain Dale Dye, Senior Military Advisor on the HBO series Band of Brothers. I was also privileged to portray Colonel Robert Sink, CO of the 506 Parachute Infantry Regiment, in that highly acclaimed miniseries. The spirit of the cast who made the series so great lives on. In March, some of those talented actors will be traveling to Camp Toccoa, Georgia, to earn their parachutist wings, just like the heroes they portrayed did in the early days of World War II. Once they've earned their wings in the same way and at the same place as the real Easy Company 506 paratroopers, they will travel to France in June and jump into Normandy, just as the real Screaming Eagles did 80 years ago. I can't think of a more unique way to honor the men of Easy Company, the original Band of Brothers. To learn how you can help with this amazing project, visit www.currahee-to-normandy.com. Currahee, we stand alone, together.